Hello everyone, my name is Nate, N8PIC, and I am here to give you a build instructional video on my N8PIC QRP microphone. So today we're going to build two of these. One of them we'll build in the QMX configuration, and the other one for the KX2 3 configuration. So if you order a kit, this is what you're going to get. You have the PCB, an audio jack, a microphone element, a push button, the backing pieces, and a foam cover. So I'm going to put these to the side for now, and we will get started with soldering. So the first thing you have to do is decide which configuration you want to use. I have on my website and down in the description which radios need the mic to the tip and the button to the ring, or vice versa, and that'll tell you which side to put the audio jack on. So we see on this side it says QMX/SDX. So if we want to make it for the QMX/SDX, we place it over that text. Now, if we wanted to do the KX3, we would place it over that text. So to start, we'll go ahead and take our push button and insert it into the holes. It should fit snugly by itself and hold itself there. So just make sure it's nice and flat. Next, we'll take the audio jack. We're going to make this one for the QMX, so we'll go ahead and put that on the front. And then the microphone, I don't know if you can see that, but there's three little lines that connect that side to the shell. That's going to be our negative side. You can also use a multimeter in continuity mode to figure out which of these two leads is electrically connected to the shell of the microphone, and that one's your negative. So on the PCB, there's a positive and a negative side. So we're going ahead and put that negative pin right into there. Put the microphone right there. All right. So now to start soldering, we're going to flip this over and place it down, making sure everything is going through the right holes. Going to grab our soldering iron, clean the tip, wait for it to heat up, get a little solder on the end of there. There we go. So what we're going to go ahead and go do first is the microphone. So we're just going to touch that to there, a little bit of solder, and these go very quickly. There's not a lot of thermal mass in this. So the solder or the contacts heat up very quickly. We'll go ahead and do the push button next. Come on. One. There's two. There's three. And four. And then we're going to go ahead and do the audio jack. So the audio jack is going to have the R for the ring on this side, the T for the tip on this side, and then S is ground or sleeve. There are two more holes here. That is for another variation of this audio jack. What we're going to do is go ahead and just fill those holes with solder. So that way when we glue if we glue the backing on, it's not going to seep through those holes and get into the audio jack. So that's it for the soldering. The reason I did the microphone first was that so it would be cool enough by the time I got around to this that I could clip off the ends of the leads and not burn my fingers. Just right there. Grab that a little bit. All right, so right now, even though it's a little hot, we have a fully functioning microphone for the QMX. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly build one for the KX2 and 3 that also works with the zBitX and the LARCset 40 meter, as well as any other radio that has the same pinout. So I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to grab another one here, components there. So for this one, we'll go ahead and take the push button, put it through the front still, the side with the silk screen border. We're going to go ahead and put the microphone in the same orientation through the front, and then temporarily, I'm not going to solder this yet, I'm going to put this on the front just so when we flip it over, the microphone sits flat. This is going to be eventually installed on the other side, it's just here for support right now. We're going to pick that up. So these two components are installed on the same side no matter which configuration you do. It's only the audio jack that gets installed on the back. So if we flip it over to the back, we see the text says KX2 3. So we're going to go ahead and take our audio jack, put it over that. We're going to flip it over. The pins on the back of the microphone help keep the entire thing level, so don't cut those off yet. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing, heat it up. So now we're done with the soldering for that one. Now it is still a little hot, but the microphone is cooled off enough so I can go ahead and clip off the ends. So we have nice short leads on the back of that. I don't know if that's focused. There. So you can see that clearly. So this is the KX2, KX3 configuration. So here we've got our two different variations, and I'm going to show you how to put the backings on. So when you order a QMX fully assembled, it's going to come with a PETG 3D printed backing that's one solid piece. So it just fits onto it like that. And that protects your fingers from getting poked on the back and potentially any electric shorts. However, if you buy the kit, I don't know which configuration you're going to make. So the backing is split into two pieces. There's the top part for the button and the microphone protection, and then the bottom part for the audio jack. Now, since this is split, you can install it on the front or the back. So let me grab a little bit of super glue. This is probably the easiest way to do it. I do the assembled units with conformal coating because it's easy and strong. But I know not everyone has that, so you can just use a little bit of super glue. We're going to put a tiny bit of super glue right here. Maybe spread it around to the sides a little bit. You don't really need to get it into the holes. That's just a recess to fit the pins on the back. So what we'll go ahead and do is snap this into place. Make sure it's pushed down and fully seated. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing. Put a little bit. Oh, got some on my finger. Don't do that. Put a little bit on the sides. And we'll put that on the back as well. Now they should hold themselves in place. If they don't, maybe put a little spring clamp or chip clip around it to keep it in place. But just make sure that everything's sitting flush. And that is the QMX version of the kit completed. Now we'll go ahead and do that again for the KX3 version. So we'll take the backing, the upper part of the backing, put some super glue on it here, some on the sides there, spread it around good. We'll go ahead and put that right in there so we can see it sitting flush. And then we'll do this again on this side, the bottom piece. Put a super glue on that side, a little glue on this side. And then, of course, since this is the KX3 version, we'll go ahead and put that on the front. So that way your fingers won't get pricked there when you're trying to push the button down, and then the back is open for the audio jack. So the last thing to do, I'm only going to do this on one of them, is install the foam cover. So this can be a little tricky. What you want to do, or what I found is best, is to put it over the front of the microphone, twist it a little bit, and then come and pull it over the corners of the backing. And then it'll slide right down. And there you have it. That's my N8PIC QRP microphone version 2.2 in both configurations. So if you buy a kit, you'll follow these directions and you'll end up with this. If you buy it fully assembled, obviously you're just going to get this. And if you buy the board on itself, you'll have to source your own components. On my website, I have the specs for the components, so you can find them on Amazon or DigiKey or Mouser or wherever you get your electronics from. So I'm going to move the camera and I'll show you how I test these and how you can test them yourself. All right, so here we're going to show you how to test the microphone that you just built. So I'm going to make sure we can see the screen here. There we go. So in the mic/paddle port, you will have one side of your audio cable. It's got to be a stereo audio cable. And the other side will have your microphone, just like that. So I can test the QMX ones just fine on my QMX Plus. However, if I build a KX3 version, I made a little converter. It's just glued on the back of one of my backings, and it switches the tip to the ring and the ring to the tip. So I can use two audio cables, one on each end, and test the other configuration as well. So on the QMX, we'll go to single sideband. We're going to click on that. Transmit EQ, mic AGC. I recommend turning this off. I've had some questionable readings on it when I have AGC on, so we're just going to change that to no. Filter RXTX. Make sure that your input is set to external microphone. USB gain we're not using. Mic gain, I have mine set to 75. I know every radio is different, especially if you build it yourself. So yours might not be the same, but 75 might be a good starting point. So mic compression I have on 0. Mic noise canceling I have on. So I have this plugged into my dummy load. You can see my build post for that on my website. what we're going to do is we're on 40 meter right now, and you can see in the top right of that screen is the S meter, and it's going to switch to the mic gain meter. So when I blow on the mic and I talk into the mic, right next to the L in lower sideband, it goes up. So we know we are getting audio through the microphone, and you can do the same thing to determine if it's working or not. So I just released the button, we're back to listening. Just have it on the dummy load so it's some static. Press it down again, and there we go. Testing, 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 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that is how you go ahead and test it on your QMX. I'm sure that the other radios that this is compatible with has a similar feature where you can plug it in and test. But once it's all put together and tested, you're good to go and ready to make contacts. So I would like to say thank you for watching. I'm 73, and I hope I see you down the logs. Thanks.